All right, welcome to the show. This is the show where each week we talk about something spooky, something scary, or sometimes nothing at all like that. You know, we'll just be goofing. But this is our little spooky pal around where we get scared. All
Okay,
right.
Santa.
Okay, a little strange. I don't know what that was
To
about.
all a good night.
Christmas in June.
Very good.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Welcome in. This is as I
Feel
said.
coming.
As I said, this is the podcast where we talk about something spooky every week, and sometimes we don't. But we're gonna have a good time today because we are going to be revisiting the Island of the Dolls. This was the first episode ever of BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural, way back in the day. If you didn't know, yeah. By the way, I'm Ryan,
I'm Shane. That's Steven.
and that's Steven over there.
You got me.
But Ryan,
You got
me. you may know us from Unsolved. We did that back in the day. Shane and I hosted that show. We now host the show Ghost Files. If you're interested in spooky things
I
like
like that you're setting it up for people who are somehow stumbled upon this and are just
It's
like,
possible.
What's going on?
But this is
Yeah.
the true
good.
story of what happened. The first BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural episode we ever shot.
It's a crazy ep. I rewatched it this past week.
It's insane.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, in preparation, because I knew we were going to talk about this today, I wanted to make sure I was fully educated.
Sure.
You guys went to 3 insane places in one video under 50 minutes.
Yeah, and also we did that in like I want to say 4 or 5 days.
One trip.
And it was like all over the map.
One of the most absurd
San
travel
Jose.
plans.
Then over to Kansas, and then over to
Kansas last.
Oh, Kansas last. It was San Jose,
Mexico City.
Mexico City,
Mhm.
Kansas, and I think we did that in like 4 days or something like that.
Beautiful Atchison, Kansas.
Crazy.
I do think it's one of your best pieces of work, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed making it.
The first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
That
downhill from
was
there.
really something.
I mean, it's,
You peaked.
It spawned BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural.
Yeah.
There is we could get into more of the story about that
Sure.
episode later, but for any of you BuzzFeed Unsolved fans that have stumbled upon this video, hopefully, we're gonna finally tell the story of the behind the scenes thing that happened on the Island of the Dolls, where it got life threatening. So
Yikes.
it's a fun time.
You've never
now-
shared this publicly, huh?
I have on tour, on the Ghost Files
Okay.
tour. Anybody who goes to see us live, I've told the story sometimes because people will ask what is like the craziest thing that's ever happened. And this is still, to this day, even though it was the first one, the craziest thing that's happened to us from a safety standpoint.
Wow.
So,
Hmm.
but yeah.
I remember when I started working at BuzzFeed and you started making this show, I just laughed because I was like, I am not going to risk my life
Well,
at this company.
to be fair, I didn't think I was going to risk my life.
No, we
I-
didn't go into it with
I
that
just thought
expectation.
like I was really interested in the paranormal and I loved ghost hunting shows growing up. So I was like, if I get the chance to go do some ghost hunts, that sounds awesome. Never could I have ever imagined it would turn into like the thing it did. And
But even Pepe was like, what the F are you guys doing
that's
here?
true.
Anyway, we'll get to that later.
And then it turned into
we'll
Ghost
get
Files.
into that.
Also, if you're stumbling onto this video and you're familiar with us from BuzzFeed Unsolved, we'd still ghost hunt. we are ghost hunting here on Watcher. Ghost Files. It's the shirt I'm wearing right now. Still out there catching ghouls.
Speaking of, here's what's airing this week on YouTube. It's the debrief to episode 3 of this new season of Ghost Files.
That's right. We're going to go over everything that went down at the Mag farmhouse because we split this up into both of these locations that we investigated are right next door to each other. So it's a 2-parter because they have some shared history. But the Mag farmhouse was part 1 of episode 3 of
the new season.
of the new season of Ghost Files that aired last Friday. So we're going to be unpacking that on debrief this Friday.
And then this week on Watcher TV.
Are you scared?
Are you scared?
Are you scared?
Oh, wonderful.
That's awesome.
For some reason, I thought it was Mystery Files.
Oh
No, it's Are You
man,
Scared?
and these Are You Scared episodes.
These are so fun.
These are really good stories.
It's been, look,
It's been a good season for stories for Are You Scared? Mini season.
Are You Scared? Obviously, a lot of times are sort of creepypasta style stories.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're a little different flavor, but creepypasta style stories don't always have the most satisfying of endings.
Yeah.
When we read through these, by the end of them, I was like, oh, good story. I was kind of delighted. They were really fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun season.
And nothing against anyone who made episodes before.
No,
But-
that's why I was saying creepypastas are kind of just the way they are, you know?
But I
You know.
directed it.
Matt did direct these two.
I was gonna say it for you, so you didn't have to. But no, Matt directed these.
That's what's coming out this week. Anything going on in your guys' life right now?
June.
June. I got a lot coming out
You got one thing
of my wife.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait.
Oh.
Could it?
You got a baby.
Oh my
coming.
God, we're at VidCon this week.
And we're also going to VidCon.
Oh my God, you're right.
And I've got a wedding to go to this week.
Shane's not going to be at
His fourth wife.
At
I'm
the-
supposed to be there right now.
He's been alive for 100 years now.
well, obviously we're pre-recording this, but when this comes out, we will be at VidCon this week recording a episode of this show at VidCon. So if you want to come see a recording of this show
With special guest D-Tune
with special guest D-Tune, who's actually in this episode of Ghost Files that you just watched
on YouTube.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
maybe Steven or not.
We don't
Maybe
know.
Steven.
We don't
Steven
know.
might be there.
And
Might
why
not
is
be.
that, Steven?
Well, the due date is nearing, but at this point, technically, she will be considered full term. So who knows?
So
And-
you may be a dad as we're listening to this right now.
That's right. I
that's
might be.
insane.
That's
It
crazy.
is weird to think that I'm a dad.
Papa Lim.
Oh my gosh.
Big Daddy. Oh, the big guy.
I don't know. Yeah, it hit me that I was old. Because like people, like my friends' kids call me Uncle Steven, Uncle. And yeah, and even the kids be calling me Unc.
Yeah.
20-year-old Gen Z YouTubers call me Unc.
Yeah.
But that being said, I didn't really feel old until I realized I was an actual uncle. Like I have a kid.
Father.
You'll be a father. not
Actual
an
father.
uncle.
What'd I say?
Uncle.
Uncle.
Oh yeah.
Do you think
no.
you're only going to be an uncle?
I'll be a father.
Because I got some news for you.
Oh, but I mean, I'll be an uncle, like
Maybe
in
I'll
the
see
sense
the
that
kid
like
on
I
his
have a
birthday
kid.
and- yeah.
Uncle
You know what I
think
mean?
Uncle think he.
Well-
Uncle think he.
But you won't be an actual uncle.
No, I won't be an actual uncle, but I will be like it. I am an actual uncle too. I don't know. It's it's just having a kid and being an uncle is different than not having a kid and being an uncle.
Do you have an older brother?
I do.
Little bro think he unk.
What is that from?
Is that a vine?
That's what that. No, that's just what the kids say.
Oh, okay.
Little bro.
Little bro think he unk.
I see.
But you actually dad.
I actually did. Yeah. So I might when this airs, I might be Papa. I might be a VidCon. Who knows?
Yeah, if his wife has not given birth, then he will be recording the podcast with us at VidCon. If he's not there, you could rest assured that he's somewhere else where he's more needed.
Will you FaceTime in
I don't
from
think
the
so.
delivery room?
You know what? I will.
I don't think you should commit to that.
I think you
I
should.
don't wanna-
If you
I- no,
FaceTime
I
from
think
the
that's healthy.
no FaceTime from your wedding,
Oh,
From my wedding.
Yes. you know, celebrate
That
love.
I'm fine with. I don't give a shit about interrupting
Shane
somebody
goes-
else's
Shane goes, I
wedding
do
that Shane's
have
attending.
to take this call.
To be clear, I'm not getting married again. The joke is just sort of sailing past us here.
You're upwards of 80 years old and
Yeah.
you're getting married for the fourth time.
It's his fourth marriage, you know.
Yeah. So, I was gonna say one thing, and I just lost it. I just lost my brain.
Your daddy.
It
He's
left
got
my
dad
mind.
brain over
Already
here.
have it. Anyway, yeah, I might be.
Are you excited to
here's
start?
what I was like.
What?
If it's happening, you will not see me on the pod for a bit because I'm gonna be out taking a leave.
Any day is their last chance with Stephen Lim.
It
for a
might
bit.
be, and some of you might celebrate that.
He's talking about me.
Bruh.
Who do we get to replace you in your stead? Do we have to find a steady flow of guests? How does it work?
I guess so. I didn't
I
even
don't
think about
know.
that.
I didn't think about that either. Steven, are you excited to do dad things? Are you
Yes.
training by sort of standing in your living room while watching Master and Commander?
Yeah.
Huh?
It's a thing that dads do. They're like, what are you guys watching? And then they'll stand and watch the entire movie.
Oh,
And
Master-
you've seen the
well,
dad-
Master and
the
Commander.
dads
Guys
yeah.
our age love Master.
That's me. No, I can't wait to build Legos with him.
Well,
I can't wait
you
to-
gotta wait a little bit.
I can't wait to color with him. Yeah, I know. Well, the first 6 months are like keeping him alive. which
Yeah.
Probably a little
I think
longer
you
than
got to
that.
do that the whole time.
Yeah. After that,
After that, he's on his own. He's got it covered.
get a job.
Bro,
baby.
stand up.
He can find the nipple himself.
There
Oh,
we go.
Back to nipple
Lego-
talk.
Speaking about that, I got a game coming.
certainly an
You
image.
guys- speaking of that, you have a game.
I can't wait to play it.
Find the nipple.
Oh my God, dude.
You said some crazy shit in that commentary.
What did I?
Yeah.
You did.
What did I
You
say?
said that about, something about like Granny lost her. What did he say?
Oh yeah.
Granny lost her.
Granny lost some stealth points when she got kicked in the vagina.
She did.
If you haven't seen it, we posted we mentioned this last week, but the watch through of Friday the 13th. This was a sort of experiment pilot that we posted on Watcher TV last Friday
Called Screaming Room.
In which we sit down with Stephen Lim and watch a scary movie. We watched Friday the 13th and had a lot of fun. And you can sync it up and watch along with us. It's on Watcher TV. If you subscribe, great. We do post the podcast there every week, ad-free, as well as all
Sometimes
our Watcher.
extended.
Yeah, sometimes extended if there's stuff that we're like, maybe not on YouTube.
Yeah, and you can free trial that,
And all our Watcher
Jump in
content
there.
is up there a month early as well. But yeah, you can do a free trial if you want to watch Screaming Room.
Which is Stephen Lim watching Friday the 13th for the first time.
Very
Stephen,
fun.
how long till we could put the headphones on your baby and have the baby in Screaming Room?
18 years.
Okay.
Now, do you ever find yourself stuck between, oh man, I got so much stuff to do, and I'm just not in the mood to do it? Literally me all the time. Anyway, that's where In the Cloud comes in. It's a quick, edible, and suddenly overwhelmed and spiraling becomes cozy and snacky. In the Cloud makes legal, hemp-derived THC products that are actually good, not the mystery edibles your roommate's cousins made in his air fryer. We're talking gummies, vapes, and pre-rolls that are strong, tasty, and they get the job done. All their products are third-party lab tested, they're 2018 Farm Bill compliant, and every order is shipped discreetly, so your mailman doesn't judge you, and neither will your roommates. No sketchy packaging here, no surprise highs, just very clear amounts of whatever you want. And they've got different THC levels, so you can float or fully launch, you know what I mean. And they offer numerous effects as well. Here's how I enjoy In the Cloud. Sometimes you want to just fall gently into a nice, restful sleep, put on a movie, some fun, and maybe with a lot of bright colors. You know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you're looking to get inspired to make that mural you've been telling everybody about, but just haven't started. In the Cloud has something for that too, as well as a number of scenarios I don't need to tell you about. So see what I and over 50,000 happy customers are so excited about and head over to inthecloud.co for yours. If you're 21 or older, now's your chance to float above the stress because In the Cloud is giving all new customers 25% off their first order plus shipping. Just use the code WATCHER or click the link in the show notes to claim your discount. That's inthecloud.co, INDACLOUD.co. Use code WATCHER for free shipping plus 25% off your first order. And when you order, fill out that quick little survey because it helps support the show and keeps In the Cloud sending you the good stuff. So go ahead, tell future you you've got it covered, then grab a gummy and vibe out with In the Cloud.
Ryan, you also said something about like some sort of double.
Oh, a double Dutch rudder.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
I forget what movie it was from, but yeah, they described a Dutch rudder.
Oh, you described it too in pretty graphic detail.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's because it's schematically sound. Like it would work.
That was what I was.
Stephen was the one who actually started that conversation.
That's true.
Huh?
He said,
Stephen
"She's
definitely
moving the bed."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well,
okay.
It's really fun.
What
You
is
should
that?
watch it.
What is that? Okay, well, okay, yeah, we'll say that for.
It's not soaking.
It's-
That's what I'm talking about. Soaking, right?
Is it soaking?
Oh no! Soaking is when you just stay there.
You're docked. You're docked. You're docked, dude.
Okay,
Can we-
save it for.
Never.
Yeah.
Save it for never.
And then someone jumps on the bed. Is this like a Mormon thing? No
I
disrespect.
think it is.
Is that a
That's-
Mormon?
Yeah.
I think that's his
Yes,
featured
yes.
in Jury Duty.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I saw
I didn't watch that
a
whole
TikTok
season.
the other day, and it was like Mormons getting tattoos, and the person just had the needle, and then someone was just shaking their like the thing, and their arm. Was
Oh,
just
it
going
was a
The
funny
tattoo
bit.
version
of
of soaking.
Yeah,
That's pretty fun.
good. I like that.
But yeah, that's I think it's the Screaming Room is one of the funniest things I feel like
We had a
done.
blast.
Yeah.
I really was having a great time.
I want to do more. You know, as we later this year when we hit the holidays, I
Okay,
wouldn't mi-
I googled. I shouldn't have.
Would you Google?
on the work wife.
I was.
Did
I
you
was-
Google soaking and docking?
There is
rudder?
graphic. drawings of what is considered it and what is not considered
You might
it.
want to close out that tab.
on
You're gonna
Wikipedia.
jump scare
I wanna
next time
see
you open up
these.
Safari.
We're putting them up on the screen for Watcher TV
No,
right now.
What did you search? I want to see what these
Fire up an
drawings are.
I searched
incognito window.
soaking, and and there's literally like the length of
Oh, length of what?
Come again?
Insertion?
insertion is like what's considered it and what's not.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't realize it was down to the inch. I mean, I'm not breaking out a ruler.
I don't.
imagine,
I
to,
honestly,
be like,
it
I'm-
was so graphic. I just closed out of it, so I'm not sure what it was referring to.
I don't think it should be inch. I think it should be more percentage based.
Yeah,
Because some people got less to work with.
that's true.
Okay, I'm seeing it.
You're seeing the.
No. He just, for the audio listeners, he just showed Ryan his phone, and it appears to be the.
The smile dog
The
picture.
smile dog.
That's unbelievable, dude.
Nice.
I can't believe that. Every time it's so
So
upsetting.
you will not have seen it either.
Oh.
I've still never seen it, and I would love to keep it that way.
Okay.
I'm just.
I think you should show
I'm
it to
with the
Matt.
audience.
I'm gonna
No,
show.
with the
I'm
audience.
gonna show you
No.
sometime now.
I'm asking my boss. I'm saying I don't want to see that.
Do it outside of work hours. Oh my God.
Oh no, I was saying though, if we do more of these, I've never seen Black Christmas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, I figured out the word for it now.
Okay.
Jump humping is what it's called, apparently.
That's not
Jump
right.
humping.
Is that not right?
Well, I guess
I mean, I
I
don't
assume
know.
someone jumps on the bed.
Yeah.
Too many monkeys jumping on
They are
the beds.
invited to balance on the bed.
Just enough monkeys jumping on the bed.
Just enough monkeys.
Sorry,
It's a different
sorry.
children's book.
This is
Pages
not.
are
This
stuck
is not
together.
a sexual podcast.
No, and you know what?
We should.
Did we get everything that's coming out already?
I think so.
We did.
That's great because I think now it's time for a little parental guidance.
All right.
This is something that we talked about last week, and it'll just be a brief little segment here. But I think you all need it because you're so
We're
potty,
filthy.
potty mouths.
Potty mouths, yes.
No. We were talking about this. All came from the Friday the 13th conversation about how funny it is on IMDb when they do the keywords or like the parental guidance keywords, and they say here's what happens in the movie, but they try not to spoil it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go through. I have 4 movies, and I'm gonna describe some things in the way that they describe them.
This is
And
really
I want
fun.
you to guess the
This
movie.
is really fun.
It's really hard to find movies that Steven has seen.
Don't worry about me.
Oh, so these aren't horror movies. These are
It's a mix.
okay.
It's a mix.
Okay.
I see.
And I'll get more obvious the longer it takes you.
That's
all to
good.
do.
You really threw this together quickly. I'm excited.
Well, I think about game shows all the time.
Yeah.
It
This
really
is a good one. Okay.
Okay. A frozen corpse is shown. In parentheses, it says extremely disturbing.
Okay.
Is the thing?
No.
Oh, damn. Okay.
How, do we just guess after every? I want him to.
You can wait. You can
You
wait.
wait.
You can wait. If you'd like.
Oh, wait. The Shining?
It's The Shining.
That was
Yeah.
gonna be
Wow.
My, that was
They're-
gonna,
they're-
going to be my guess. I wanted to hear more.
Too bad you didn't say it.
They're
I'm sure
very-
it was your
Well,
guess.
because it's fun to hear him say stuff. If he just says The Shining. All right. the end.
answer too,
I'll still-
didn't
These
say
are
it.
all
I had
very
it, though.
obvious. A woman hits a man in the face with a baseball bat, knocking him down a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
A naked woman's skin starts graphically rotting as she turns into an old woman.
Fair enough.
And you have all this to look forward
She's
to
so sexy.
No.
when we watch The Shining.
Oh, it's Stephen Shining.
Yeah, that'd be great.
An elevator lets out a river of blood.
No.
There it is. I mean, that's pretty obvious stuff there.
There are a couple of nude posters in a man's room, lots of detail, and it's very realistic. I love the way these are written.
That's pretty realistic.
The first look could have been the movie Frozen too. By the way.
Could have.
Could've
Someone, wait.
There's no frozen corpse in that.
Yeah,
gra-
there's-
in-
not a corpse, but
extremely disturbing.
a person gets frozen.
Yeah, but he said corpse, I think.
They could be dead, considered dead.
They're all dead.
A man in a band costume is giving a man oral sex.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wonder which one
That's
that could
in
be.
The Shining. Oh, I don't want to watch this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I
you're
think
gonna
you
love
want to
it.
watch it.
You're going to love it.
This is a nasty episode. We should have a Witch of the Room at the end of this episode.
It ain't gonna be me. I gotta edit it. I'm doing the good work. Here's how we'll do it. And I also think that those were extremely obvious. The Shining is ingrained in my memory.
Imagery. you know,
Imagery.
is what it's all
Imagery.
about.
And everything that happens in it is extremely specific to
Yeah.
that movie. But here we go. These are a little bit more broad. Just say when you know it. Just say when you know it, and I'll keep going. A man's stomach is slashed.
Ooh, okay, that
His
could be a
stomach
lot.
is- okay, I think I know it.
Okay. Right? Anyone else? Ryan, you think you know it?
Nope. There's a lot that could be.
I'll know on the second one if I'm correct. But I'm thinking of what happens early in a specific movie.
Okay. A woman is stabbed in the head.
In the head. In the head.
Woman stabbed in the head, man.
Oh, okay. Maybe then the different film.
Steven?
You're not gonna get me with this one.
Okay.
Okay, you got to keep going.
Lord of the Rings.
A man is briefly seen hanging upside down with a knife in his chest.
Oh,
Upside down with a
Upside
knife in his
down.
chest. Well,
Okay,
this is-
now it's throwing me. I initially thought it was Scream because when her boyfriend's out in the on the lawn chair,
Yeah.
he gets his guts spilled.
Yep.
Then I was like, oh, maybe Scream 2.
There's no hanging upside down, though.
No, there isn't. In Scream 2, there's the stab in the bathroom stall. When he
Oh
puts his
my
ear up
God,
again,
yeah.
which is that's,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Which they parody
that's-
great in Scary Movie with the tongue out of the phone.
Isn't it a
No, the tongue in the phone is
that's
the
a
Freddy.
that's a Freddy
Oh, that's a
thing.
Freddy thing. That's
It's
They
right.
do
it's not a tongue.
It's a little crazy frog penis, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy frog on the other
You
side.
can't just keep referencing Crazy Frog penis without like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I disagree.
Under body,
Everybody knows what that is.
Ryan's got standards.
Yeah, about body upside down.
Here you
Okay,
go.
body upside down with a knife in it. Okay.
A few victims' bloodied corpse are discovered by one character.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is fuck. It's still very general, except for the body upside down. That
I'm
that
throwing
is
to keep
throwing
it a
me.
little general.
That's throwing me. The body upside down.
I will get more
Upside
specific.
down with a hook in it. A few bodies are discovered.
tell you what though, when I watched Logan for the first time, I almost puked. that's the kind of gore. Like,
I've heard of people
gore
like
in that.
mutants.
No, he's talking about Wolverine gets stabbed. That shit was
the opening scene, it's pretty gory. They just go for it in that movie.
Here's another one. A woman's throat is slit.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm lost. I'm lost here.
Was this Friday the 13th? I mean,
It
no.
was Friday the 13th.
Oh,
What?
The one we
Friday
just
the
watched?
13th. Yeah, the one we just watched.
Upside down.
Man is hanging upside down
Well, I don't remember him upside down.
with a knife in his chest.
Was he upside down?
Well, it says
which one?
one of them.
The one that was on the door could be the only one.
That wasn't the one.
That was
though.
arrows.
But he was definitely right side up.
It might have been the guy in the bed.
That's crazy if that's true. That because he definitely was not upside down. He was lying down.
Well, in any case, good
What it
gotcha.
says.
Good gotcha.
That's what it says. Great job.
Part of the game is that the descriptions might not be super accurate. This is
Yeah.
IMDb
These
we're
are-
talking about.
That's fair.
The one that I thought would give it away was the main group kill a snake with a machete.
Well,
This is
yeah,
not
that-
simulated.
no, that
It
was-
is a real snake.
That's crazy. They killed a real snake in that
I
thing.
hate that they did that.
That-
That was
insane.
real.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
definitely
that's-
real
That's
snake.
messed up.
The 80s. Here's another one. I'm trying to find ones that a building is blown up.
Okay.
Okay. Wait.
There's a couple.
I think I know what it is. I'm locked in.
Spider-Man.
I'm locked in, though it might be two movies.
Okay.
I'm locked into two
And
films.
this is the honor system, so tell me if you got it, you know?
Yeah.
Gore is never shown, and the fights are generally bloodless.
I think I'm still locked in.
There are 2 kissing scenes.
I think I'm still locked in, but maybe I'm wrong.
Woman occasionally in bikinis in the background. Nothing too revealing.
I think it's
That's what it
okay.
said.
I-
Nothing too
revealing.
Nothing too revealing. Okay, wait. Okay, I was off. I thought it was Speed at first, but now I'm not
It
sure.
sounds like a Marvel movie.
My first guess was either Speed or X-Files.
My first guess was actually No Country for Old Men,
There's no women in bikinis.
but
in that one.
there's no that the bikinis threw me
Yeah,
off.
they don't make
A
buns
man
like that.
quickly drinks 2 shots of whiskey. This is under the alcohol, drugs,
Whoa,
and smoking.
cool.
There is also a scene where a man is about to drink but is interrupted.
Oh,
Okay.
that sucks.
Blue balled
We see a mobster smoking a cigar.
mobster.
Smoking in almost every scene he appears in.
A mobster.
Smoking
Smoking a cigar. I wonder if I've seen this film. You got mobsters? You got alcohol? You got women in bikinis?
Sounds like a good movie. Right?
Those are the 3 things I wanted that I look for in every film.
This is how they used to pitch movies, just
Yeah.
saying those 3 things. A woman dies in a flaming explosion. The camera cuts to show the outside and the building blowing up, but we never see her death.
Bikinis. Woman explodes.
Wait,
Mobster with cigar.
The
is
Godfather.
this The Dark Knight?
Ooh.
Where are the bikinis?
Because he's on the yacht.
He is on the yacht.
A man suffers intense burns to one side of his face.
It is okay. It's the Dark Knight.
It's
Yeah.
the Dark Knight. Great job.
Really good.
Some of
really
my
good.
favorite ones in
I forgot
here.
about the yacht.
Oh,
This
man.
one might have
You know
given
what?
it away. Joker kill a man with a knife, and it just says Joker kill a man with a knife.
is the two
Nice.
shots of
Does
whiskey.
it actually say that?
The 2 shots of whiskey is that one bar scene that's in the movie, right? Where it's like the dirty cop and
Joker kill a man with knife.
I'm trying to think of the 2 shots of
That
whiskey.
cut in that movie is so weird when he makes them fight with the pool cue and then he.
Mm.
Yeah, that movie's weird. That's a weird movie.
I love it.
It's not to be interrogated too
No.
harshly.
Okay, we got one more.
One more.
Okay. Good job, Ryan.
Good
job.
I'm still thinking about the 2 shots of whiskey. It's when he's talking to that
I assume it's
dirty cop at that.
Eric. What's his nuts?
No, I don't. It's not him.
Roberts.
It's the other guy. It's like the other.
Okay, these are all extremely. I'm gonna blank out some names here because it's very clear. The main character breaks a man's arm.
Okay.
Or breaks a man's arm.
I
Okay.
hate that already.
I think I'm locked in,
Okay.
but I've been wrong on every locked in that I've had.
Yeah.
There is nothing under the alcohol, drugs, and smoking section,
I think
Okay.
I'm still locked in.
and that I do think gives a lot away.
Yeah, I was about to say that eliminated what I thought it was.
Shit, bastard, and bitch are used sparingly alongside lesser profanity like ass.
I'm still locked in.
20 uses of shit.
I'm still locked in.
Okay.
20 less than Ryan.
So
says on
far,
this
everything is in
podcast.
line with what I'm thinking.
The main character gets shot at while driving his car.
I'm still locked in. I think I'm trying to think of the specific. Yeah, I think so.
A side villain
Uh,
attempts to murder the main character by shooting at him. His car explodes and he thinks he is dead at first.
I think I'm
Thanks.
still locked.
I think I might be too, but that one confused me.
What movie are they breaking arms?
Well, I mean, I know for one, what do you? I'm thinking Nice Guys.
Oh, I was thinking Terminator 2.
Here you go. 3 men are shot off screen, but the aftermath is seen shortly after with the 3 men dead in a cell with bloody bullet wounds in their head.
In a cell.
in a
Whoa.
cell.
What the fuck? Okay, let me think. Oh boy.
Breaking arm at-
I love this
men-
game. This is fun.
3 men in a
This is
cell
good.
that are dead. What?
That's a sequel to 3 Men and a Baby. Was there a sequel to that movie?
A character throws the U.S. flag at a helicopter, causing it to crash before being grabbed and thrown into another one, causing an explosion on the roof of the White House.
I'm not getting this then. If I don't
On the-
remember that, then I'm not going to remember. that.
Causing it to be someone grabs the helicopter?
No, a character throws the U.S. flag at a helicopter, causing it to crash before being grabbed and thrown. Oh yeah, I guess they grabbed the helicopter.
Oh, this is Winter
And-
Soldier? No.
Is it a X-Man?
Civil War?
I feel like I would remember a helicopter being thrown at the White House, and I don't. Maybe I haven't seen this movie, but do you think I have, Matt?
I don't think.
I was about to say, I don't think I've seen this movie either. I would remember.
Okay, here we go. The Red Hulk rips off.
Oh, Brave
was
New
for
World.
Steven. That was
Brave
for
New World.
Steven.
You were giving that for Steven?
I was actually thinking that, but then I was like, he wouldn't do that movie. They haven't seen that yet.
That
I
was one
literally
for
was-
you.
Hey, thank you. It's the one movie I've seen.
You did get Friday the 13th.
That's fair. But
Before they
I
did,
thought
and we all just watched
Yeah.
it.
I knew they hadn't watched it before, but I was thinking that. I was like, the White House.
Anyway, yeah, I was
No.
doing a little thing. What's the opposite of the Witch of the Room? That's what I am.
The Wizard of the Room? The same.
Anyway, yeah, great. What a game. That was parental guidance.
Harrison Ford.
I like that. That's fun.
A little fun.
Really fun. We'll have to play that again sometime.
That was fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It was fun.
Yes.
I concur.
Oh, okay.
Wait, he breaks an arm. What? Oh.
Sam Wilson breaks it. So a character.
Who's Sam Wilson?
It's
Captain
fucking
America.
Captain America, man.
What?
The Falcon.
Oh, he's the Falcon? He's
Who's
the
Sam
Captain. I haven't
Wilson?
seen a Marvel in so long.
You didn't see Thunderbolts?
No. Is that Anthony Mackie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony
Oh,
Mackie.
cool. Didn't know that was his name.
Mac Attack.
Okay, well, we've had some fun. Now let's get to our main course today.
To the YouTube title that you clicked on.
That's right.
We're getting to that
Tacos.
story.
Now, this is something that's come up several times when we do our live shows, as Ryan said. Sometimes people will ask us, what is, the craziest or, most memorable or most dangerous shoot you've ever had? And we have one.
Yes.
It takes the cake. And it's something that people don't generally know about because you wouldn't glean any of this from watching the episode.
Which is kind of crazy to think about. That
You kind of would though, because I watched it back this past week. You in particular, Shane, in the episode are like, "Fuck that place." You say that in the episode,
And the
but then
boat,
you're
yeah.
at the Sally house and you're like, you're just having a good time sleeping. So like, the fact that like you even were not happy.
Well, there was other
does say
things
something.
that happened in the episode that actually did make the episode. One of which is we called it Island of the Dolls. We also called it the Spider Island because it was the most spiders I've ever seen in my entire life in one, I don't
It's a
know,
lot of spiders.
like 100-foot radius. It was crazy. It was,
And I love bugs.
Oh, so you're saying there was more than
and
just spiders?
spiders are bugs.
no, there were so many spiders. Like, if I had to take a guess, hundreds probably.
Oh, on that island, thousands.
Yeah, it was insane. Like, and they were coming. When you're expecting spiders, it's usually when you're in some sort of like structure. It might be old or wooden or something like that. It's like, okay, there's probably spiders up somewhere in the ceiling here. But the thing that was alarming about this island was there were like patches of field that were like kind of open fields with not really trees above us either, and they were somehow
Coming from the sky.
they were like descending from the sky with, but a string is still attached. Like the spider web's still attached to them somehow. It was disgusting and really, really scary.
Well-
And I know Shane didn't like it either because like
They were big. They were big.
they're huge. I mean, one of them is in the episode. One of them crawls out of the original doll, which is just incredible timing to get that shot. But like even behind the scenes of that, I remember our first AD being behind the camera and seeing first AD TJ. He was standing behind Tristan, who was our camera guy at the time.
Tristan Hill.
And I could see TJ just looking up at the ceiling. And I was like, well, I wonder what he's looking at. And I looked up and he was just looking at all the fucking spiders. Like there's just so many spiders.
Oh my god!
And he was just trying to clock them. And then after a while, he was like, it doesn't matter. They're everywhere.
So
They're
wha-
everywhere.
I guess the first question, well, like back up real quick. Why did you guys go here?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess the stakes of this episode were pretty loaded. So this, if you don't know, this is the first ever episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural. To this point, we had made 10 episodes of BuzzFeed Unsolved, I believe, that were all true crime. Like we had done like the Zodiac, we had done like Hinterkaifeck Farm and like the Somerton Man, stuff like that. And these were all smaller videos, like 7 minutes, and I started working the video length of BuzzFeed Unsolved up to eventually, I believe the Zodiac was around 25 or 30 because I was told make a long one.
And back in the day, that was actually like on YouTube,
That was
25-minute
super long.
videos was
Yeah.
very long. We were making 2 to 3 minute videos.
And I remember feeling like, how the fuck am I going to keep people's attention for 25, 30 minutes? And that was tough. So we get to the 10th episode. The 10th episode, by the way, is when Shane comes into the picture because the first 9, I believe, were with Brent. The believe being, I think it was 9 episodes. It might have been 10 with Brent. I'm pretty sure it was 9. Brent Bennett was the original co-host of BuzzFeed Unsolved. Then he, after the show started to gain some traction, because at this point, like 9 episodes in, it was getting around like about 1 million views per episode. So people liked the show. And Brent told me in so many words that he never really thought the show would ever actually be popular. And he was doing it because he was my friend. And it was just basically like, retreading the ground we were already doing in our car rides together because him and I would commute to work because we both lived at our respective parents' houses, in the greater Los Angeles area. So we would commute to work together and then we would have these arguments in the car. So that was how the show kind of started. I just was like, let's put these on camera. But he did say that he never thought the show would get to the level it did. So he was like, I don't want to do it anymore. And so then Shane came into the picture. I asked Shane to take his place. And the first episode we did was the Illuminati. That was episode 10. That episode did well. And then BuzzFeed was at this like strange.
Had we only so the Illuminati one was in studio.
It was in studio. It wasn't even on the Unsolved
Was
set.
that
at the
only
time.
one we did before the trip?
It was.
Wow.
That's another thing. You and I had only done one Unsolved episode ever before that trip.
Yeah. And while this was going on, I was directing another series there.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like a branded thing. And so I wasn't super plugged into everything that was going on, because you were like, oh, Brent's going to leave the show. Do you want to sub in for him? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan and I had always gotten along.
Yeah.
At BuzzFeed. We hadn't worked. I mean, we'd done the Test Friends.
We did
stuff
Test
together.
Friends, which was a series in which we tested health
And we
trends.
were, you know, we always got along famously. So I was like, yeah, sounds fun. But I was like kind of focused on the other thing.
No, to illustrate that point, Shane and I sat next to each other at the office. And so like, even when I asked him to be in the show, I just turned over to Shane and was like, hey, Brent is leaving the show. Would you be down? And he actually like, I think he had headphones on. So he like took his headphones and was like, what? And I was like, hey, do you want to do the show? But I need you to commit because Brent just left and I can't have another, person bailing on me. No offense, Brent. And because I don't know how long we're going to do this show. If people keep watching it, we may be doing it for a while. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And so like Shane literally did check his Google Calendar. He like looked for the next like 2 months to see if he was like blocked out. And he was like, it looks like I'm pretty free. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And so I think the next day we actually shot the Illuminati episode, which was not on a set. It was just at BuzzFeed. You could book out. There were several shooting rooms that were set up to shoot in. And I just booked one of them, and one of them had like a wooden background. And I was like, all right, that looks good. I'll hang a light bulb off a C-stand. And we shot the Illuminati episode, and that did really well. And this was around the time where BuzzFeed was not really sure what it was in terms of like its identity. Because like at this point, a lot of the videos that were popular were things like moments inventories, which if you don't know what that is, it would be like things all, short people know. And it would just be a collection of moments that people would be like, oh yeah, I know that moment, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that was like, and lists, that was like, and maybe little sketches.
Basically TikTok right now.
And taste tests and things like people trying
Yeah.
food and stuff like that. So, but it was all short form, things that were like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops. And so they didn't know if they wanted to invest heavily in a show that was, now pushing 20 to 30 minutes, because no one was really doing that on YouTube at the time. And no one was even doing shows on YouTube, like in the sense of like, oh, this is a show that has a season and these are episodes. It was just videos. So they were kind of confused at what they were doing. And on that note, they were like, we don't know. We like this unsolved property that you've made. We don't know what to do with it. We don't know if we could continue doing it because it is expensive to make in terms of like editing and travel. Like, because I had some graphics. At this point, though, actually, I was doing everything myself. So I don't really know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
But in order for it to become what it did become, they would cost money. And so they weren't really sure what to do with it. So they were like, hey, why don't you make a hour-long version of it? And basically, in so many words, if that doesn't do well, then that probably is it for this show. Like, and I knew that going in.
I thought it was because they wanted you to create a pitch for a TV show.
So it started as that. So there was, back in the day, there was, I think it was Verizon, like Go 90 or something. There was some sort of
Go 90.
Go 6. I forget the name of the brand, but I'm pretty sure it was Verizon had their own little platform where you could make.
Yeah.
Do you remember what that meant?
No,
Go 90?
I don't remember.
It was a... Matt is showing us off screen right now. When you take your phone,
Oh,
they wanted to like make it slang to be like,
Go 90.
I'm watching a video. Let me go 90.
No way.
And like turn it 90
Shane is
degrees.
rotating his hand. So when you rotate, when you go from vertical to horizontal orientation.
Are you serious? That was the real reason?
No, they wanted you to go from vertical to horizontal.
They wanted you to go 90 into.
They wanted you to go 90.
Anyways, so
Go 90.
BuzzFeed had this deal with
Go 90 for a Quibi.
They had this deal with Go 90 where Unsolved was one of the ideas that they had. I don't know if they were pitching it and they were on the brink of selling it to them, where I would make this hour-long special and it would exclusively be on this Go 90 thing.
Damn.
Because they were like, we don't know what to do with this on YouTube. Like, so we don't know how much further you could take this. Yeah, you could keep making 30-minute videos. No one's doing that. So why don't we try and sell this property to this other thing, and then you can make it for that and make it an hour. So I made it an hour. I planned an hour-long video. I had 3 locations that we were going to link together thematically, and I did all the research and the writing and all that stuff. And then the sale fell through. So they were like, oh, well, I guess just put it on YouTube, but this is going to cost a lot to make this video. Definitely more than any other video at BuzzFeed cost at the time. So they were like, well, basically, if this doesn't do well on YouTube, because we don't know what to do with it, we'll just put it on YouTube. And if it doesn't do well, that might be it for Unsolved. And so I was like, okay. So I went into this knowing like I got to make this very, very good. Otherwise, I'm fucked, essentially. So that was all known before we even rolled any cameras. So that was what I was carrying into this. And why I was so like, I got to make this really, really good. And not only that, but this is the first time Shane and I have ever really filmed something Unsolved related in the wild. Like we had done it in our little closet room. That was like, the bullshit room that had like a background and I hung up a light bulb, but we had never gone into the field and ghost hunted. Ever.
Gotcha.
Like I had ghost hunted as a teenager for fun.
Yeah.
Shane had never ghost hunted. I knew he didn't believe in ghosts. So we didn't even really know what our dynamic was going to be.
It's very funny because I really had never interrogated myself about that prior.
No, right? Neither have I. This is actually, I've never really thought about this.
I mean, if you had asked me, do you believe in ghosts? I'd probably have been like, I guess not. But it wasn't something where I was like, of course not.
Well,
they're not something I'd ever really thought about.
The reason why
except beyond just like, oh, I don't think those are real. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, to be fair, Brent was a very skeptical, smart man. And like, so that's why
me on the other hand.
Well, I tend to believe in things that are more of the paranormal or the supernatural or like, things like that are kind of like on the fence of like what is a solid fact and what is not. And so him and I would have these discussions and I knew Shane to be a smart man and also discerning himself.
Yeah, Brent and I are very similar.
So they were similar and I was like, okay, he could bring that same kind of skeptic energy that Brent brought. But Brent and I had only tangentially argued about ghosts ever on Unsolved. It came up like weirdly in true crime episodes every now and then, but I had known like, oh, it would be really cool to make a ghost hunting show of this because Brent doesn't believe in ghosts. And then when he left, I was like, okay, who else wouldn't really believe? Shane. Because I knew I wanted the believer, non-believer dynamic because I'd known that had not been done before. So anyways, we go off, we fly to San Jose.
Yeah, the shape of this trip is nutty.
It's nuts.
So we went to, started in San Jose.
We flew to San Jose. We interviewed Father Thomas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which was great because once again, this is the first time a camera has ever rolled where Shane and I are walking around doing Unsolved. So we didn't even know what our dynamic was going to be like. Like I remember we did the intro like 3 or 4 times. I don't know if you remember this, but
yeah, when we were outside the church.
Outside the church, we did the intro for the entire video where I set up the premise like, hey, we're going to do 3 locations. They're all going to be dealing with possibly something demonic or a ghost that could perhaps hurt you. And there was one version where I think the first time I did it, Shane wasn't Shane. He was just like, Shane was affable. No, he was very I went to say he was very amiable. He just stood there and was like, okay, kind of. And I remember I was like, let's go back and forth a little bit and just call it out. You'd like bust my balls. Like I was like, just fucking like,
speak your truth.
Speak your truth. Like, be yourself. And that's the take we ended up using. And that's kind of the dynamic. We figured the dynamic out in that moment anyway. So then we interviewed Father Thomas. Then from there,
we just walked around the church a little bit. It is interesting on this whole trip because we had never ghost hunted. I mean, like you said, but we didn't have tools really.
We had ourselves.
Yeah.
And a camera.
We were just dicking around.
And I didn't even carry around a recorder for voices. It was more just like, I had watched ghost hunting shows my whole life going to this moment. And I was like, I just want to be in some of these places alone. And I feel like if I just have a camera, that'll be enough because these places are so haunted. Now I know that you do need to do some more investigative technique and everything like that. But back then it was just like, let's just show up with a camera.
Kudos to Father Thomas for being the most dramatic man
of all time.
Yeah, because when we were doing that interview with him, he gave us that moment. Are the cameras still on?
Are we rolling?
Yeah, why did he say that?
I'm not sure because he never gave us the off-camera answer either. I asked him a question and he was like, are we still rolling? Okay.
At some point,
and I said yes, and he goes a little, okay.
I can't remember if it was on camera or not, but he did tell me like that I was going to go to hell.
Maybe.
What?
Well, because if he was trifling with all these things and pushing places he shouldn't be.
Hey, it's all good, man.
I mean, we never listened to a piece of advice that guy gave us.
I know we've worked like interviewing people at the locations into the show again.
Yeah.
It would be fun to talk to some quote unquote experts again.
Yeah.
Like him.
Like in the occult?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be fun for future seasons or episodes.
But yeah, so we talked to Father Thomas. That same night, we drive over to the Winchester house, and then we do the Winchester Mystery Mansion investigation, our first ever investigation.
Yeah.
And that was a whimsical house, still very, I mean, at this point, I am so scared of this kind of thing that like, it's tough for me to even be in these places, let alone like speak and stuff like that. So, and that's funny watching that back. And then
you also have this grin on your face in some of these scenes where I guess you're scared.
It's a nervous grin.
But it's very funny. You look like you're just like stuck. You're frozen in this smile.
Yeah. That's my default setting when I am overwhelmed is just a smile. I always have a stupid grin on my face, unfortunately. But yeah, we do the investigation. You know, not too much happens. Shane scares the shit out of me in the basement.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's
Very mean.
Well, also, yeah,
It was pretty funny, though.
This was our. I think over the years I was like, well, I can't manufacture scares on this show, and then other times I've been like, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
But early in the going, I was like, should I fuck with him on these things? So I did it a couple times.
yeah.
Yeah. And
You deserve it, by the way, Ryan.
which, by the way, he's like, that's the first time we ever ghost hunted, and he's like hiding in the basement of the Winchester
But you
Mystery
were
Mansion.
going nuts already, so I was like, yeah, let's have fun with this.
So we went to sleep. We we did it. No, we went to sleep, and then the next morning we flew.
Yeah, we didn't sleep.
You guys went to the hotel.
We went to
Yeah,
the.
we didn't stay over at the Winchester.
No, we went to the hotel and slept for like an hour, and then got on a plane and went to
Mexico City.
Mexico City.
So already just globetrotting.
Ooh, and then we landed, and then I
This
believe
was my first time in Mexico.
And
Mexico City. It was beautiful.
it was a beautiful city. We had some tacos, and then that night we actually did sleep at the hotel, and then the next day we started shooting during the day.
Like 4 or 5 of us in one hotel room.
Yes,
Ryan and I shared a bed.
we shared a bed.
Was TJ in the room with us?
No, but the bed is actually where we did our vlogs. Like, you know, we were we were like our confessionals, if you will, where we talked about what had happened at the Winchester, and then eventually what happened at the Island of the Dolls. Because as you're about to hear, shit went down. So next morning we wake up, we take an Uber from our hotel in Mexico City proper to the docks. Now,
Well, first we had a nice little day in Mexico City.
we did.
We met Pepe.
Pepe from BuzzFeed Mexico.
We went to the BuzzFeed Mexico offices, which was just like a little room. And Pepe, I don't know what he did for them. Was he video or did he
I
do?
think he might have just been like one of the writers there.
But the thing is, you know, when you go to a place like that, especially, you know, a big company who is sending you on a production like this will generally supply you with a fixer.
Yeah.
A fixer, which is a term for someone who like knows the locals and knows what it takes to make sure that you have a good time there and are not like being manipulated or taken advantage of.
Also for production logistics, like they could speak the language, and they could, you know, so you don't get ripped off, and you know they make sure you have the locations locked down, the proper releases, that kind of thing.
And BuzzFeed was like, we'll give you a Pepe.
We'll give you Pepe. He'll leave his desk and go walk out with you guys. Lovely man, by the way. Shout out Pepe. I don't know if
He's hilarious.
I love Pepe.
What he's up to? I haven't heard from
I know.
him.
I should hit him up.
Yeah, see what he's doing.
I love the line when he's like,
We should actually, it would be funny to get him on the show eventually and have him
yeah.
tell us
Recount.
what he remembers.
Oh,
from-
yeah.
that would be really good. Honestly, because I just love to catch up.
Me
with
too.
him
Yeah.
and shoot the shit. We're just a very, very, let's talk about an affable guy. Just
Yeah.
a very, very, just gentle, kind man.
Yeah. We had a great time.
But not exactly Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
No.
Or somebody that you would, you know, that like in my mind, I was like a fixer could be somebody that like, if we get into trouble, this guy could help us. Pepe, God bless his heart, I don't think is going to be doing that. He makes me look like Dwayne the Rock
Yeah,
Johnson.
you could jump on our back like Yoda and tell us to fight.
But anyways, so we take a Uber to the outskirts of this little Mexican village, and then it's like, okay, we got to drop you off here because the car can't fit through these alleyways that lead down to the docks where the boat was going to pick us up.
And
So
it's a hike.
It's a hike.
It's not like, oh, we drop you off here and then you walk a couple blocks and you're at the dock. It's like, we drop you off here, you got to get on a rickshaw.
Yeah, without the rickshaw, it's about a 20 to 30 minute walk. I know that because, well, you'll see we did that walk later. But the rickshaw takes us through the village, which is awesome. Such a fun experience.
Yeah.
All of this felt like a really cool like ragtag adventure to this point. Like we gone to the Winchester, we're in Mexico City, we're having tacos, we're seeing Mexico City with BuzzFeed Pepe. And now we're in a rickshaw going out to these docks. Rickshaw drops us off at the docks. We get on the boat.
And we had also stopped at like a Walmart equivalent because the plan was to camp.
That's right.
At the Island of the
I
Dolls.
completely forgot. We had bought tents because
You guys were carrying tents with you?
I believe we had them on the boat.
Oh my.
And we were going to stay the night on the island. That was the plan.
Okay.
Everyone was. Or everyone? Yeah.
I
right?
think it was everybody.
Yeah.
But then you'll see. Okay, so we get on the boat. We meet the guy, the site rep. Every one of these haunted places has a site rep who we have been talking to for months to like plan this. Candace, our producer, great at her job, by the way. Had all the correspondence with this guy. BuzzFeed Pepe, like I keep calling him BuzzFeed Pepe. Pepe talks to the guy and like we're like all squared away. He's like, all right, great. Everyone get on the boat. We get on the boat. Boat rides about 30 minutes to get to the island. Once again, we're having a blast. Like I'm like, this is an adventure. This is so cool. I never would have thought we'd be filming something like this.
And we're moving through canals. So it's not like an island like out in the middle of but like on the outskirts of the city, the Xochimilco canals.
The Xochimilco canals
are like people live there. They're a little rural.
Yes.
I don't know what to compare it to. It's kind of its own vibe. I would encourage people to look up pictures. It's a fascinating kind of chunk of the city because it's like a little rural, but you see Mexico City kind of in the distance. It's cool.
Mexico City, put it this way, gets smaller and smaller in the background as you get further away. This place is isolated. So we get
But also to be clear, like the Island of the Dolls, like when we were pulling up, it's like a tourist spot.
It is.
When we were pulling up, there was like a big boat of like people who seemed to be doing like a bachelorette.
I think
party
it was a
or something.
quinceanera was happening on a boat,
Yeah.
a floating quinceanera. And it was like, and I've seen like the floating boats on the Xochimilco.
Yeah,
canals
like
that are
people drink and visit
party boats.
Party boats, basically. Yeah.
So, there's nothing in my mind that's like, okay, something alarming is about to happen. But we get farther and farther away and to the point where like now we're just on the Island of the Dolls, which is towards the end of the canal. So it's pretty isolated.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen this all in the video, so none of this is new. Once we dock the boat, the site rep who's on the boat with us turns to us and is like basically like, okay, like this is the part where payment happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the exact amount, but I know it was ridiculous because I know we'd agreed, let's call it like 400 or 4,000 pesos. It was nothing insane.
What is that to USD?
I don't know. It was like, I want to say like $50, $100,
Okay.
something crazy. Like, or maybe
I want to say it was probably the equivalent of like $200 to $500.
yeah, maybe more like $200,
Okay.
$500.
Okay.
Anyways, let's call it, just for the sake of conversation, let's say it was 4,000 pesos or something like that, which I don't know what that converts to. He then says, no, it's going to be more like, 40,000 or 400,000.
What?
He basically added a zero.
He added zeros to it. And we are like, no. So Candace, our producer, is literally scrolling on her phone, showing him emails of him saying what the amount was. And he's just looking at it and shaking his head. And we're just like, what are you talking about? But he knows we're trapped. We're trapped on this island with him. There's nothing we could do.
And this is
my
where
goodness.
because we haven't seen Pepe go to work when it comes to
And we're
his
like-
fixing work. And Pepe is like, let me talk to him. And we're
now-
like, okay. Pepe has a 2-minute conversation with him in Spanish. And Ryan and I are just watching him. We're like, okay. I
And
think
I'm
he's
already
taking care of
ashamed because I don't know Spanish as well as I should, being half Mexican. So I'm like catching every other word, and I'm like kind of doing that thing where I'm like eavesdropping very obviously, like, okay, what's the situation here? And they're going back and forth like lightning speed in Spanish.
And to me, an outside observer, I'm like, I think he's
working his magic.
locking this down.
Yeah.
And then they stop talking and he walks back over to us on the boat.
And he says, and I was like, Pepe, what's going on? And he goes, I think we're getting scammed. And I was like, uh-oh.
He's like, yeah, we gleaned that. We thought maybe you could get us out of that one.
And he basically was like, in so many words, like he's asking for all the pesos we have at the moment.
Whoa.
So- Yeah.
Like a robbery.
Yeah. He was like, well, if you can't do that, then, I'll take whatever you got. And we're just like, hey, that sounds like a deal.
Yeah, sure.
Without sort of clocking like, this is by definition sort of just robbery.
Meanwhile,
Sheesh.
as he's having this conversation, which I forgot to mention, 3 other adult gentlemen walk to the shoreline where the boat is, and they just cross their arms and they're looking at us.
No way.
And so we're like, oh my God, what's happening right now? And I was thinking in my mind, like, is this where it ends? Like, but we give
and also the agreement at this point was, okay, you can pay us less money. You cannot spend the night.
Exactly. They're like, we'll give you a couple hours on the island instead of you staying overnight then. And I was like, fine, if that's the extent of your scam, we get to go home and we're fine. Our well-being is secured.
Yeah.
I'll take 3 hours of filming and get us the hell out of there.
Yeah, I'm sure even at that point, like nowadays, I might be like, oh, bummer. I wanted to sleep on that island.
Yeah.
Back then, I was probably like, oh, I wouldn't mind going back to the hotel.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, and then we do the investigation. This all is in the video. We see all the spiders. We get chased off the island by the spiders.
Yeah, because the spider thing, like we got there, it was still light out.
Yes.
Sun hadn't set. The island is like it's like a swamp. It's like the terrain is swampy, marshy, and during the day, as you looked around, everything was like you wouldn't notice it unless you like really started looking at stuff. But everything was covered in spider webs.
And
all the
spiders.
leaves, all the trees.
Yeah.
We would like when we were recording the story in the little shack, we looked above us, spider webs everywhere. And I remember when we were recording the story, at some point we were like, look at that huge fucking spider up there.
I also remember at some point in the story that we were talking about somebody was missing and Pepe was like, maybe the spiders ate
Yeah.
her.
But so like we saw one huge spider. It was probably like, I don't know, that big.
It was huge.
It was like big and gray and shiny.
Like comically large Party City looking ass spiders.
And in the moment we were like, that's a freaky looking spider, not realizing that an hour or two later there would be thousands of those exact
That was a
spiders.
precursor. That was the recon spider that was going to put the word out.
Yeah.
That like these boys are.
So they come out at night, huh?
Well, they certainly did for us.
Yeah.
And I remember even at the end of the night when we were done shooting, when we were packing away, I was packing away one of the tripods in one of the tripod cases. And when I opened the tripod case, there were spiders in it. And I had to like shake out the case. I remember that. And I just remember even when we got back to the hotel, I was like,
It was kind of cool. It was cool to see that many spiders.
But I was
a
also
little alarming.
I was also like, look, I'm actually glad these guys scammed us at this point because I don't want to sleep in this
Sleeping
fucking-
on that island
on
would have been
Spider Island, dude.
crazy. Though I think it could still happen one of these days. But I'll
Wait, what? Is that a tease?
No
No,
way.
Is that a promise?
I do think a goal of and I've been saying this for years, anytime we do a live show and Ryan talks about this and I'm like, well, but at the same time, we don't ever want to go back there, but we do want to give the people what they want.
No.
I do think we should attempt to go back there someday.
I don't think so.
I
Anyways,
okay.
What if they remember you guys?
well, I hope that's not the same guy. Well, we did the investigation, right? We get back on the boat. And at this point, we're like just happy to be off the island because spiders everywhere. So I'm like, sweet, we get to go back to the hotel. We're taking the boat right back, which was about 30 minutes. It's pitch black now. It's night. There's no other party
What
boats
time
around.
is it now?
This is, I want to say
midnight?
close to midnight, probably.
Because we didn't do a super long investigation.
No, 'cause
they
they
were
can
like,
get-
you got to go.
Yeah, they were like, get out of here. Which I was like, at this point, I'm like, okay, we did our time. They just want to get us off this island. So we're on the boat. 15 minutes into the boat ride, the boat breaks down. And I'm doing that in air quotes because I'm not really sure what's happening. But
I think the boat genuinely did break
I
down.
don't know. I'm still on the fence.
Well, I don't know what they would have gained by just having a stall out there. Like,
Well, I know what they would have gained.
Well, sure.
But anyways, it takes a while for the boat to restart up. They're arguing in Spanish again. Shane and I, we walk to the tip of the boat, the bow of the boat. And I remember really distinctly looking up into the sky and it was pitch black, but there was lightning. And every now and then it would be illuminated by lightning.
Like a storm was
Oh my
blowing in.
And I was just like, this is really nice. And I was just trying to just put out of my mind what was happening behind me because I was already skeptical of what was going on. Eventually boat starts. TJ, our first AD, I hear him back like, all right, let's get out of here. So like we head back. The dock that we docked at, by the way, for it to go through the village looks much different at night now. Like it's dimly lit.
Mm.
And also this was, so before they pulled away,
Yes.
it occurred to us, we were like, wait, hang on a second. So initially the plan was for us to get back to this dock in the morning.
Yes.
But now it's midnight.
Yes.
Because they were going to have another person pick us up and take us back to the town center.
Exactly. They were going to have somebody on a rickshaw to take us back to the town center so we could get an Uber to go back.
And
to
we
our
were
hotel.
like, "How is anyone going to be there?" And they were like, "Yeah,
yeah, don't worry. We ordered a rickshaw this late at night."
What?
And we were like, okay.
They were like, "Yeah." So that's not adding up. For us.
No,
We're
it
like,
wasn't adding up,
I
which
don't
is
think they called someone for us.
okay. So they were like, we get to the dock.
And this is the same boat driver.
Same boat driver, same dude, and he ties the boat up. Like there's like dogs barking. It was like chaos. And he was like, "All right, rickshaw's coming for you guys. I called it. Sit under this one street lamp and just wait." And so we're like, okay. And we are literally sitting on the cases like of camera gear, like tens of thousands of dollars of gear, just sitting, using them as chairs, waiting for this rickshaw to come pick us up, allegedly. As we're sitting there,
We were sitting there for like 10, 15 minutes. I don't know.
people start coming out of their houses to look at us, like sitting on all this expensive equipment in the middle of the night. And so we're just like, this is uncomfortable. And TJ, our first AD, starts to clock. I think we're being set up again. Like, I think there's
Wait, no.
because the boat broke down, bought some time, get to the dock, sit under this light, wait for a rickshaw that's supposedly going to come.
No.
And so he's like, I'm not going to take the chance.
Who's with you? So it's
This is
TJ,
me,
Candace, you
TJ, Candace, Tristan,
two? Okay.
Shane, obviously, and Pepe. And
Yep.
So 6 of you guys here.
And so he goes, okay,
my gosh.
everybody get up, pick up your case. We're going to walk back to the town center. This is the area that we walked through with the rickshaw before. And now we're going to walk it with carrying all this gear. By the way, my GoPro from the Spider Island had been running on my chest this entire time. And I'd just forgotten to take, I was so flustered, I'd forgotten to press stop on the GoPro. So it's recording this entire time. So somewhere this footage exists. But we get up and we just start basically walk running through this village as people are just looking at us carrying all this really expensive
And you guys all
gear.
agree to do that. You're like,
Yes.
this seems like you're right, TJ. We should just dip.
And we none of us spoke. We just walk fast as hell through this
Holy
village
shit.
for 20, 30 minutes, heads down. We get to the place where we get the Uber. And as we're getting relief starts to kind of set in, and Uber arrives, Pepe turns to us and he goes, "That's good. I'm really relieved because I didn't want to say anything, but that was perhaps the most dangerous village in Mexico City." And I was just like, I really appreciate you not telling that to me in the moment, Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe kept his cool.
And because he did look visibly relieved, and he was like, "Whew, that was a close one." And he was like, "I was not good to be out there with all that gear." And so we start loading the Uber up. At this point, we're like, "Oh, we're free. It's over."
It's not over?
And I don't know if you remember, Steven, but back around this time, this is 2016. This is around the time when the clown killings were going on.
The clown.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember any killings occurring.
There was like,
I don't either.
We could look this up.
I'm pretty
You always
sure
cite
there was-
this, and I
there
don't
was-
want to spread misinformation.
I'm pretty sure there was clown killings going on in like a forested area, not in Mexico
I
City.
thought there were just people who were like seeing clowns.
It's
and then
possible.
it kind of like took off. and
There was
just
also
became-
the Smiley killings. I don't know if that was.
I don't know
around
about
here.
any of these.
Either way, at least that's what I remembered back at the time.
There is a Wikipedia for the 2016 clown sightings.
Okay, that's what was
wow.
going on at the time.
Yes.
And
Anyways.
what are these sightings? They're just
The
clowns.
sightings were first reported as a marketing stunt for a horror film. The phenomenon later spread to many other cities by mid-October 2016.
Oh my
clown
God.
Sightings and attacks had been reported in nearly all of the U.S. states, 9 out of 13 provinces and territories. in
Okay, so
Canada,
I'm not-
and 18
I'm not
other
off
countries.
then.
What, there were actual killings?
Attacks.
Oh, they were attacked. Oh,
yes.
crazy. Okay.
So I knew this obviously because I'm researching for this show.
Big clown guy.
Like I'm researching of what things we should cover. Anyways, we get in the Uber, and we're all now like, okay, we're in the car, we're safe. And I think I want to say we're like maybe 2-3 minutes away from the hotel at this point. We stop at a stoplight, and the light turns green, and the Uber driver doesn't drive. And so I'm sitting behind the driver, so my view of the dash of the car is blocked from the headrest. But everyone else in the car goes silent, and I'm like talking like, "Oh, that was crazy, right?" And everyone stops talking, and I'm like, "What's everyone looking at?" And so I kind of crane my neck around the headrest to see what everyone's looking at, and staring at me through the dash is a clown, like just a clown standing in the middle of in the street, just like and he's going up to the front of the car and he's cleaning the car window, but he's actually not. He's miming it. He doesn't have any cleaning supplies, but he's like doing this.
What the?
That's really funny.
Now, this I really liked.
Yeah, this is great.
I did like that.
And so at this point, I'm like, run this fucker over. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore.
To be clear, that didn't happen.
It did not
He
happen.
didn't run him over.
But he tiptoes away like a comical, like
Yeah, it was funny.
So good.
I liked that.
tiptoes away.
That was to me a nice little, okay, we're all right now. I
I
thought a little bit of local flavor.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't actually, and he was just like pretending, that was funny.
It was unnerving.
You know what I noticed in Mexico City that I thought was really neat and that I've never seen in any other city? Did you notice when we would be in a car like that, the drivers, if they would pull up next to another car, would just chat with each other
I didn't notice that.
at a stoplight? They would just like
That's
a
fun.
stranger. They'd just be like, how's it going?
For some
While,
reason,
while they waited for the light. And I was like, this is neat. I wish this
That
was.
happened a lot in Chicago, but they were not saying nice things.
Oh, no. This was like idle chatter between cars. And I was like, this is fun.
Yeah, for some reason, that memory was kind of dominated by something else that happened in
Clown.
Mexico
Yeah,
City.
the clown.
But we get past the clown and we get to the hotel. Everyone's just finally relieved. We go to the bar. I remember I ordered I think it was like 2 fingers of whiskey.
We
Just-
all,
And we all just sat for a little bit silently and just sipped our whiskey. I remember my hand was shaking because I was so just like strung out.
we
Yeah.
couldn't believe that we were back in the city.
No, because when we were on the
Because like an hour and 20 minutes prior to that, we were swarmed with spiders and then on a
broken down boat and
Yeah.
then sitting under like a street lamp being
Whoa.
possibly set up to be robbed.
When did you clock that you could have died?
When we were sitting under the street lamp and I realized there probably wasn't a rickshaw coming because
Did-
it was 15 minutes later than he said it was it was supposed to be there and it wasn't.
Wow.
And so he was basically just telling us to sit in the middle of the night under a street lamp, the only one.
Did you feel this way too, Shane?
At the time, even in retrospect, at the time I wasn't super worried. Because sure, there's the possibility that we were being set up. I didn't personally interpret it that way. I was just like, I don't want to sit here on the street. So yes, I think we should walk. But I wasn't. I didn't think our lives were in danger at any point.
Nothing was adding up though. He'd already scammed us once.
I could understand why.
But even when Pepe,
I also don't think the boat breakdown was like. I think that would just happened. I don't think it was.
But what
'cause
about Pepe's
he
comment?
was pulling on the engine for like 5-10 minutes. They were trying to fix it, and I was like, I don't think they're just doing this. And then the guy was funny because when he actually did get the boat going, he looked up at the sky and he was like, "Jesus Maria," or something. And I was like, he's having fun. So I do think he wrung us out for cash when we got there. I don't think anything beyond that was malicious.
He
and
robbed
maybe
us
that's
once,
just
but
me.
it was a light robbery.
It was-
So
it was.
there's nothing to suggest he was going to do a big robbery.
I mean, he didn't threaten us in any way beyond like, well, you're not going to be allowed to shoot here.
He also didn't say like, "I'll take you back," like either. He was like,
yeah.
we were at his whim.
Oh,
So-
where did he go? He just walked away.
Yeah,
walked home?
He just walked home or whatever.
Oh.
He said-
No, they because they live on the island. So
I
once
see.
they
So they
dropped
went
us
back.
off, they got back on the boat and went back. to the island.
But he said, like, I called the rickshaw to be here at this time. It was not there at that time. And we were sitting there for a while. And
Yeah.
TJ, our first AD, first off, for anybody who doesn't know, first AD's job on set is to make sure everyone's safe. That's the most paramount thing. of
Yeah.
a
So
first AD.
he was assessing risks and just being like, seems like maybe this could be a bad situation.
Yeah. He's like, this guy's already robbed us once. He's already lied. He's now telling us to sit here and wait for possibly who knows what.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the math. Let's get out of here on our own.
I mean, this could be me proving that I would be the first person to get fucking murked in a horror movie.
Now you just got that white guy confidence. I think it's just like I think it's gonna be fine. Like it's why it was sitting under a street lamp. Why not?
Yeah.
And then you pair that with Pepe saying that was one of the most dangerous
Yeah.
places in Mexico City. I was like, oh man.
And I don't know if it still exists somewhere deep within the archive of BuzzFeed, but we were rolling on our GoPros for that entire.
We were rolling on our GoPro. So
Journey
there is a
back.
record of this
Did
somewhere.
you ever watch it back?
No, I
Out of
didn't.
what, fear?
I didn't care to.
Yeah.
And I could have too, because I edited that episode. So like it's on a drive. It's on my old hard drive if it still exists at BuzzFeed somewhere. I should have taken that footage. No.
I am curious to hear what Pepe thinks about it now. Like, if he thinks you guys are being set up.
He seemed pretty glad to be in that Uber, I'll tell you that.
To think that after that, we went straight to the Sally house.
Wow.
Yeah, we came back to the hotel after sipping our whiskey. Shane and I went upstairs. We recorded a vlog on our shared bed and laid out everything that happened. And then we next morning woke up super early and flew to Atchison, Kansas. And did the Sally house.
And this was all within the span of what, 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, so then the next morning we flew back.
Crazy
So
trip.
San Jose first, then flying to Mexico City day and night, then fly to Atchison, Kansas.
4 days?
4.5 days.
Crazy.
And you guys slept over at the Sally house, which is very funny too, because the moment when you bail on the episode, I was like, yeah, you're like 2 hours away from hitting 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Why are you bailing right now?
Oh, dude, I couldn't take it anymore.
You're just done. I mean, the whole trip, I guess.
I mean, TJ, our first AD, also, he says it was bad meat or something that he ate on the trip, but he was throwing up on a tree outside
oh, God.
because his stomach was messed up. And I was like, this is too much for me. And then the flashlight was going nuts.
That's a stinky house, though.
It was a stinky house.
I think there's like, I don't know. I don't know that there's mold in there, but it's definitely like, ugh.
It was not a good.
Yeah, you think there's mold in there? Matt, you've been there. You were there when we went back.
Lead?
There's definitely
They
lead.
definitely let in that house. I'll
There's
tell you
all
that.
sorts of shit screwing with people's brains in there.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
All natural, I would admit. I think.
Also, I in that Sally House episode, this didn't actually make it into the episode for some reason. I don't know why to this day. Shane, you've actually questioned why this didn't make it in either because we just stopped rolling. But
I think we were rolling on audio, though.
we were rolling on audio.
Yeah.
When the flashlight goes off in that episode and I lose my mind, it looks like it's all one continuous scene or like thing that's
Mhm.
happening. What actually happened was I saw the flashlight go off. I freaked the fuck out. Tristan, our camera guy, must have freaked out too, because at this point our first AD was out for the count. He was out of the house. Our producer refused to go in the house, so she was sitting in the car. And he must have just cut. And I ran off out of the house, ran to the producer's car, like was banging on her window and being like, the flashlight went off. Get me out of here. Like, and then she was like, get back inside. Candace, if you know Candace.
Love that for
very
her.
funny.
Candace, shout out Candace. If you know her,
Yeah, and by the way, she was right.
and so she
She
went
was
back.
right to make you do that.
I went back and we continued the investigation in the kitchen and the flashlight started going crazy.
Did
again.
the flashlight go crazy when you wouldn't ask it any questions? Because that's not really in the video. I couldn't tell.
It didn't at first. Like, that's why it freaked me out, because he was asking questions of that flashlight for like maybe 5-10 minutes. And we were like, all right. And nothing, it had been calm that whole
Mhm.
time. And then the flashlight started going on command. And first off, at this point, we did not know the Maglite trick that if you put it in between on and off, it will randomly go on and off no matter
see.
what.
I see.
But it does turn it into a touch lamp. So like, that's how you can still use it, how we use it today. But like, if it doesn't happen in specific moments on specific timing, it's probably nothing. Anyways, I didn't know that a Maglite was capable of doing that. And to be fair, neither did Shane.
No,
But-
but here's the thing. No, I did.
You didn't know that. You because I even in the episode was like,
but
how
the
did-
fact that we had to gently and very carefully put it right between
but not
on
you,
and off.
he did that.
Yes, but he showed us what he was doing.
Yes, yeah, I know. But
So
you
my brain was just like, okay, the hair trigger. It's like right on the middle of it.
Yeah.
And also, I've used mag lights my whole life. Look, I was a Cub Scout. Okay,
but like when
my father was a big fan of mag lights.
it wasn't doing
I know
anything
how
for
they
a
work.
while, but when it went on on its own, I lost my. I didn't know a flashlight could turn on by itself, especially when you ask it to.
Dude, I can't imagine being you after coming from the spider island, then thinking that you just saw a demon or saw a ghost that hates your guts.
Because even in the episode when I was like, "How do you explain that flashlight?" and Shane in the episode says, "I don't know, flashlights are funny sometimes."
Fucking Maglites, how do they work?
Yeah.
And then
I
he's
like the
because we
ICP.
also saw the Maglite rolling around there too. That was fucked up too.
Thank you.
Well, that's got to be like an air thing or something, or gravity.
I
Just
mean,
rolling.
it wasn't rolling before that.
It's a cylinder.
I don't know. Either way, it was a crazy time. Yeah, what a trip.
I don't know that we've ever fully divulged that entire story. So
We've
I'm glad we've
even
put
on
it.
tour.
Even the tours versions are much shorter.
It's shorter because I know no one wants to hear an anecdote for like ever, but I've never really unpacked that whole trip, what like it meant to the series. It was
I have, yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
yeah. Oh no, that's yes.
When we made the final investigation documentary,
Yeah, what
we
about that?
interviewed you for the.
By the way, the final investigation documentary, Matt directed that. That was basically like a doc on the ending of BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yes, yeah. So I joined him for the final episode. You had mentioned that the weight of that trip, and the importance that it had on the Sally house, like in that documentary, which is mostly about the Sally house. We
Yes.
didn't talk about any other locations, but I didn't really think about that for the, like, you know, people always wonder, why are these people in these positions, especially in like Hollywood? You
Yeah.
know? It's like, how could they let themselves do this? I would never let myself do this, or I would never be in that position or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're making something that is your life's work and it's really important to you, like
Yeah.
you kind of make bad decisions.
No,
sometimes.
for sure. And like, not only was it like important to me because I was interested in it and I
Yeah.
wanted to make it, but it was literally told to me that like if it didn't do well
Yeah.
and it wasn't good, I would not be allowed to make it anymore.
Yeah. The curiosity and the need to kind of deliver on things can.
The escalation of that
Really push
episode
you.
too, like Winchester House,
Yeah.
and then the Spider Island getting crazy, and then what happens at the Sally house. It's crazy to think about. Like, in that, it was crazy enough that it launched BuzzFeed Unsolved, and that's why we're sitting in this room, which is kind of nuts to think about. So I guess we owe a lot to Spider Island
Those spiders did a lot for us.
and that guy.
Do you always think about that next time you're afraid of spiders?
What? Think about what?
It all started with a spider.
I thought you would kind of just take that at face value and not. I don't know. Spiders are great.
Spiders good.
I'm not a fan, and even more so after that experience.
And I do think we should go back.
No, I'm not.
I think we should.
I don't want to interact with
I
that guy
can't
again.
believe you got dragged to this shoot and we're like, oh, I'll make more of this.
That's also crazy.
I would've been
had a great
out.
time. Mexico City ruled.
Mexico's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the
Beautiful.
Spider Island thing is just, or
I mean, but
Island of
again,
Dolls.
as I said, I didn't think we were in any immediate danger, or at least that's how I read the situation, and I had a good time. I had a lot of
Oh,
fun.
fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy though.
I mean, an island full of thousands of spiders, you know,
And creepy dolls.
it's creepy,
the
but
dog,
like running through it and jumping on a boat, that's fun.
the island
Getting
was
scammed.
never really the part I'm scared of that guy, and then I'm scared of the situation we were in.
You know, you're on the Wikipedia of La Isla de las Muñecas.
Oh, I'm sure we.
Oh
are.
yeah.
oh.
Yes. Well, not you, Ryan.
Oh, good. Good.
No, I know. Just the show.
No, Ryan's not on.
Oh.
Wait,
You're on it.
wait. I
What?
want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Why am I on it?
The town is featured on the Travel Channel show Ghost Adventures and the Amazon Prime and show Lore. It was also featured on BuzzFeed Unsolved, where host Shane Madej, a firm skeptic of the paranormal, jokingly asserted that he believes the legends about the island.
Yo, wait, what?
I say I believe it. Do I say that in the
Jokingly.
episode?
They
That
jokingly
whole
asserted, but
sentence
the-
was a ride that I could have never let them guess your next move. I would have. Wait, what the?
That's strange.
Yeah. I went to the Wikipedia for Island of the Dolls, and they didn't know you, right?
That's fine with me. Good.
They didn't know
I don't
who
wanna,
you were.
I don't want to be on that guy's radar.
Here's a little call to get us out of here.
All right.
It's a crazy story. That is.
Anything
Yeah.
like that ever happen on Worth It, Steven?
Did we ever get scammed?
What is the
The
I would be curious about your
the
craziest
craziest thing that ever happened on Worth It was we showed up to Japan and a restaurant dropped out.
That'd be
Were you
annoying.
doing
Whoop-de-doo.
other stuff there too? Or?
Whoop-de-doo. It was the
Whoop-de-doo.
it was the like the high price point ramen, and we were like, we're leaving tomorrow. Like we're leaving in a week. We have to shoot something. So
you guys
actually,
did a ramen episode there?
yeah.
Oh fuck! I should have watched that.
BuzzFeed Japan was able to actually like lock down a location that same day.
Wow, that's
for us
crazy.
to shoot at that night.
Oh, that
So I mean,
that's good.
that was the most stress I've probably felt in the show.
Was it mostly Tokyo? The ramen?
No, we were all over.
Damn. Okay, because I was
That's
I was
awesome.
angry I didn't watch it before I went to Japan because I would have liked to test out those shops.
Yeah.
Here's a call from. And I didn't play the.
God,
I really need the music for the mailbag to be shorter.
Yeah.
It's a little long. I know people are gonna hate my guts for saying that, but it's a little long. Anyway, I didn't play it. But if you have a message that you'd like to send us via voicemail or even text, we can take text. It's 818-275-4585. And also send us an email at AskWatcherPods@gmail.com. You can also message us on Instagram at GetScaredPod.
Yay!
Yay! This is from Liam from Boise.
Hi, I'm Liam from Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
Last week you guys talked about scary movie scenes. This isn't really a scary movie per se, but it still freaked me out apparently.
Like this.
So I was like 3, and my sister had 8 years on me was watching E.T.
Yeah.
I was watching with her, of course, because I'm a good little brother. And that scene came up where the music was getting louder and was zooming in on the door. And before the guy in the hazmat suit even opened the door, I could feel piss dripping down my freaking leg, and I just screamed at the top of my lungs. And my mom, of course, was like, "What are you showing him?"
E.T.
I didn't know what to do, and she didn't know what to do. So we just both started crying. Well, yeah, I just wanted to say that. Okay, bye.
That's insane.
He started to feel piss dripping down his legs.
running down his legs.
I pissed my pants watching
He was
E.T.
3?
I think he was 8. I thought he was 8.
A lot of people have liquid
Oh,
running
he was
down.
3. He was 3. Sorry, he was 3.
His
and my
sister was
eight.
11.
Yeah.
I think I watched E.T. for the first time when I was like 3 too. It was
Did
like
you
the
piss
first.
yourself?
I'd not piss myself. It made me love movies. I definitely didn't piss myself though,
Definitely 2 different reactions.
as far as I know. Lots of other liquid was running down my body, like tears. I cry.
Okay.
You cry.
Most kids, when you show them E.T., it is like a spiritual experience for the first time.
It's scary.
But also
It
it
is
does
scary.
Those
like
guys at the end are scary.
Yeah, when all the guys in the hazmat suits crash through like
And
the
when
house.
ET go dry and
Dude,
gray.
he's so dry.
It's so gray and pale.
Unbelievably dry.
I so pale.
Yeah,
Was there ever a
he's
sequel?
so pale.
Was there a sequel to E.T.? No, right?
82?
Was there 82?
He'd wrote a treatment, or I know somebody else had wrote a treatment,
Sorry.
and it just didn't go.
One of the
it was about the green planet though.
biggest movies to not have a sequel, huh?
He thought about it, but he was like, I can't do a more perfect movie than this.
Yeah, good on
The
you.
sequels sound crazy.
I mean, a lot of the sequel actually ended up on the ET Adventure ride.
Oh,
You know what they would call a sequel? EET.
Extraterrestrial? Yeah.
Shut the heck up, dude.
Have you ever read about the sequel to 101 Dalmatians?
Extra.
The book?
What? The 101 Dalmatians?
The 101 Dalmatians 2? The
No.
book?
No.
Because the movie is based off a book.
uh-huh.
And the book sequel, obviously there's like 102 Dalmatians. I don't know. The
Yeah, I
Jeff,
think something-
Jeff Daniels one?
something like that,
Whatever. In the book sequel, the dogs wake up and all of the humans on Earth have fallen asleep.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. It's called the
Okay.
Twilight Bark, right? Starlight Bark. And an alien dog comes from outer space.
Whoa, they went in a really
Some
different
really
direction.
crazy shit.
Wait, is this real? This can't be real.
It's real. Starlight Bark, I think it's called.
Was the first book twisted in the sense of like how Little Mermaid is twisted? or
No,
the
I think
original?
I think it's pretty similar to the Disney story. It might be a little different, but
There is no way that is true.
No, I was about to say that sounds made up. There's no way.
The Starlight Barking is a 1967 children's novel by Dodie Smith, and it is the sequel to the 1956 novel 101 Dalmatians.
Wait, does it say you have a plot summary?
One morning, the dogs find all of their living things besides the dogs cannot be wakened. No
There it
dog
is.
is hungry, thirsty, or weak. Doors, gates, and machines operate on command, and the dogs are able to communicate via, quote, thought waves to others many miles away. Cadpig, now acting prime minister in the humans'
the dogs
absence,
become the government.
order her parents to come and help her in
Be
And
better
I
London.
think
than
there's
this
an
one.
alien dog too, but I don't know.
Maybe the alien dog is where they become the dogs from Up, essentially.
Yeah.
Or Pets, Secret Life of
Scariest
Pets.
is a character, the powerful, telepathic, but intensely lonely dog, Lord of the Dog Star. Who can assume the form of any breed of dog and has loved dogs for millennia.
Yeah, that's an alien dog if I've ever
With
heard
the
about
threat
one.
of possible nuclear war looming, he
I guess I
It's
owe you
even
an
crazier
apology.
than I thought.
I owe you an
fears-
apology. That's a
He
crazy.
fears what will happen to the Earth's dog, and he uses the magic to freeze Earth and gives the dog the power to flee with him if they so choose, setting off the events of the novel.
This is the same.
I got to read this book. This sounds crazy.
I have a
dude.
copy of it at home.
You do?
I do.
And you haven't read it? It's called Starlight Bark.
It's called Starlight Bark.
The Starlight Barking.
No, when Sarah and I went to London this past year, we were at a book fair, and I bought the first two. I bought the two. I bought 101 Dalmatians and then the Starlight Barking. I got to read them both.
That's crazy, dude.
Is there any suggestion in the first book that this could happen?
I don't think so.
That's so weird.
It's kind of like those TV shows that are like, like I just saw a trailer for the new Megan.
Yeah.
yeah. It's a bit of a departure.
It looks like Megan 4.
They're doing.
It looks like they skipped a bunch.
They're going
Yeah.
the T2 route though. She's
Yeah.
just sort of good now.
But yeah, when like in TV shows where it's like you hear what happens in season 8,
Yeah, and you're like,
and they're like, what the hell?
Or they're trying to make you believe she's good. Maybe.
Oh, Megan.
Well, of course,
Ooh.
yeah. That's going to be the question.
I wonder if when T2 trailers came out and did they make
They
Arnold
showed
look
it
good?
all. It sucks.
They made Arnold look good?
Yeah.
So that could have been primed to set you up.
It's if I were James Cameron, maybe it was just such a foregone conclusion where he was like, oh, they'll never, they're going to reveal this anyway.
Yeah.
Because if you had seen that movie and not known, it would have been a great reveal. But all the trailers that I've seen from that era are like, and this time he's good.
Well, I would have assumed, like I'm assuming about Megan, it's a setup that he's like said
Maybe.
to be good and then he turns but he never does in Terminator 2. Down to the very end.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
We'll see. We'll see what she's up to. In that trailer, she says something like, hold on to your vaginas.
Nice.
And I was like, is that a catchphrase from the first movie?
It looks
I
really
don't really
crazy.
remember her saying
It's like that
things
lady from Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Mrs. Voorhees.
She should have held on to
She
hers.
certainly did not hold on to hers.
She was all knowing.
Wait, did she make a funny noise when she gets hit
No,
with the shotgun right
no,
there?
she does when she.
Oh!
She does when she swings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun.
Something like that.
That's gonna do it for our big thanks to who sent that in? Who sent that voice?
That was Liam. Thank you, Liam.
Thank you for sharing that story
From
about you
Boise.
pissing yourself
Boise.
to ET.
Thank you.
ETPP.
That's good.
Hey, if you haven't subscribed on your podcast app of choice, give us a rating on there. Give us a subscribe. If you hadn't subscribed on YouTube, give us a subscribe. If you want to watch Screaming Room, where we show Stephen Lim Friday the 13th, that is now on Watcher TV. You can head over to watchertv.com and try out a free subscription if you'd like.
And you can also check out some of the Ghost Files apps that haven't come out on YouTube yet over
That's
there.
correct.
And they're going to be coming out on YouTube eventually, but if you want to see them early,
That's right.
see 'em there.
Also, if you have any more questions that we could answer, that we have stories to tell, feel free to leave those.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
We should get Pepe on the horn for one of these future
I would
episodes.
love that,
We'll
dude.
reach out to him.
I would
Yeah.
love that so much.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
Mm-hmm.